Question number 3, USA Today has reported 39%, looks like it could be a proportion problem. 39% of all elementary school children claim when they grow up they want to do something to help other people. But in 1995, 128 out of a random sample of 317 claimed they wanted to do that when they grew up. Does this indicate there's been an attitude change? So the USA Today is purporting that P is 0.39, where P hat is 128 over 317. This is going to be a one sample or a one proportion z-test. My null hypothesis is that it is just like it was in 92. My alternative is that it has somehow changed. The requirements, again, kind of glossing over them. I need to make sure that these kids are a random sample of kids. I need to make sure that I have a normal curve, which I get by having at least 10 successes and failures, which I do. I have 128 and whatever 317 minus 128 is, which you could write like that, or you could say 317 minus 128. You need to actually plug numbers in there. And then I could check the 10% rule, of course, and see that there's at least 3,170 kids. So we'd have to write those out a little bit more, but that's the idea. It's a two-sided test. So my picture would look like this. There are no degrees of freedom because it's a z-test. The formula is p hat minus p over the square root of p times 1 minus p over n. You'd have to plug those numbers into that formula. Of course, using the calculator, I'm going to press stat test, one prop z-test. This value here was the 0.39. There were 128 out of 317 people, and I want to know the two-sided test. Now notice this business on X and N, that throws students sometimes. X is the number of successes in my sample. N is the number of items in my sample. There's my value. There's my z-test statistic, which is 0.503. My p-value is 0.615, and that's so big, I'm going to fail to reject.